So my program, which has amazing results with it, 60 to 80% reduction in symptoms, but also PTSD in 3 hours and less. Like multiple hundreds of people this has been through. As a result of this approach as well, is people no longer meet the criteria of lupus, fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis issues, autoimmune disorders, because once the trauma is resolved, the autonomic nervous system shuts off, the body will heal on its own. So I've got hundreds of clients that can testify to this. And so this is a scientific model. So with my engineering degree, it meets all the 6 criteria for science. Psychology meets none. Psychiatry meets none. And so we have to look at who's allowing the process to be approved when they don't have independent credentials to actually fulfill it. And they're not claiming this. Psychology and psychiatry are not claiming that they have a solution. Why are they directing? Yeah.
Can I just comment on that? Because when, Dave, we did the study on mefloquine here in 2016-17, I asked the psychologist that was in Somalia the question about when they face traumatic scenarios, do you see a difference in those who have a faith or a soul development as being more able to cope? And he didn't even hesitate. He said, absolutely. So that shows a bit of that. So you have one more here. I know you talked about professionals without trauma education earlier. Can you talk about repeated betrayal within the system? Just how that impacts.
Yeah, this was a national story a number of years ago. One of our Canadian military went to the Ukraine and actually went to the Ukraine, but it was murder by war. Sorry, it was suicide by war. So the reason he went there was actually not because of PTSD from war, but PTSD from home. If I could have got to him before he left, I probably could have saved his life. But the tragedy was he abandoned his partner and his adopted daughter. And on June 11th, he left, and he left a suicide note, said, I'm not coming back. So they waited for 6 months for him to finally perish. November 6th, he perishes. For the next year and a half, the mom and the daughter, both suicidal, both had tried multiple times to take their life. It was the second time that the daughter tried. She took 19 pills, was air-vac from Swift Current to Saskatoon. And that's when Chad Wagner from the Royal Canadian Legion, who's been funding my work for the last 2 years, and I've probably served about 25 to 30 vets, is that those two came to me, and Dave drove them, so thank you, Dave, to my clinic in Medicine Hat. In 4 sessions, I was able to actually help them release the trauma. They are no longer on any meds. The young girl was 14 years old. She was on 5 meds. 3 of the 5 meds were on black box warning. I consult with the psychiatrist and the doctor as I put this program through, requesting them to actually, now that we've solved the trauma, we can actually back off the meds. They're doing amazing. It's an amazing story. So Dave's seen that.
Thank you.
So
thank you again, Mr.
You're welcome.
Wouters. I appreciate